I just want to say before we start, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry.
I thought this idea had a lot of problems.
I was on Valerie's Naked podcast last week, and I misunderstood the title.
He did show up naked. I didn't have the heart to tell him.
Where's that one taped?
At a church.
Yes,
Seriously.
it is at a church.
Okay.
Okay, we're rolling. Okay, this man, Valerie, you know him. Okay, so
I
this.
do know him.
This is from. Do you mind if I hold this like a weatherman?
It's a weapon.
Or an anchor on KCAL. So, Doug Herzog. This is from LinkedIn, so we know it's true.
Oh, geez.
Over 40 years of... Now, this is your LinkedIn.
I probably wrote that. So
you wrote it.
You want me to read it?
40 years of experience in the media industry, led some of the most iconic brands and franchises in television. MTV, Comedy Central, Daily Show, South Park, The Real World, MTV News. And what some people don't know about you is when you were leading Viacom networks, which included TV Land, which is where we debuted, we launched probably to fanfare that you didn't even think that we could probably get to that height for the pilot episode, because you called me and said, how's it? I don't know if even you know this.
I don't.
He calls me and said, well, congratulations, you just started a network.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that
I said that?
Nice. Yes, you did.
Oh, wow.
That's the nicest thing somebody ever said to me. So, hi.
Hi. Well, I want to make this immediately awkward and uncomfortable.
Yes.
So to think that I'm sitting here with...
That's one of my questions about when you first found Valerie Bertinelli in your life.
To think that I'm sitting here with my secret high school girlfriend that nobody knew about.
Oh, shit.
My high school crush and my current Hollywood crush. I mean, I could barely get to sleep last night. I just want to say, I'm really thrilled to be here. So thank you both.
We are thrilled to have you.
I love having you here because it's a double whammy for me. Because when did you start at MTV?
1984.
When it premiered.
It was a couple years after. MTV started in '81. I got there a couple years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confusing because 1980
'81 was the launch.
Was the launch in '84? The video Jump took over.
That 84 was the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that was Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA, Purple Rain, and Michael Jackson's Thriller was still going, and it was Madonna and George Michael and Van Halen. I mean, it was everything. And so for me, it was kind of like graduate school. And I just kind of jumped on that train, and one thing led to another, and then I luckily ended up at MTV at exactly the right moment in time, and
But you did that multiple times.
Very multiple.
Because you landed at Comedy Central and you started the Daily Show.
Yes.
You started TV Land. You started.
Well, I didn't start TV Land.
You started original programming.
I started original program. Yeah. So
which is a huge step, and take us back to the time because. Original programming on a network that specifically runs reruns of much beloved shows. Yeah. How do you get those?
So somewhere along the line, like the idea started to germinate that we should try and make original shows on TV Land, and the plan, the strategy was we want to make sort of modern versions of classic sitcoms. So what does that mean? So, I mean, and Hot in Cleveland being the very first and the very best example, right? Which was a great, funny script, and then cast with people who you love, and who are enormously talented and know how to do this.
But you also, everybody knew Wendy, everybody knew Jane, everybody knew me, and everybody knew
exactly.
Betty,
there was
familiarity in that.
Yeah, I'm saying, and that was part of the formula. Part of the formula was like, make it a little familiar, right? Because that's what the TV Land audience wants. They can watch anything, right, on television. There's 50 million channels. They choose to come to TV Land to watch old shows because there's something warm and familiar about them. So we wanted to do the warm and familiar thing with a little bit of a modern, boom, and Keith Cox, who Larry brought on to run development, he found the script and he pitched this idea, and I remember as like, I was a little bit, I'm a skeptical guy, like anybody, all those guys, anybody who worked for me, Dana, Keith, Larry, they'll tell you, I'm like the guy who's like, trying to find the hole and really challenging them. And I remember it's a good script, and Suzanne had an amazing reputation. But I was like,
comes from Frasier.
I was like, who's going to do this for TV Land, right? Like, who are we?
Yeah.
And Keith went out there, and I can't remember. You might have been the first to sign.
We were talking to her, and we're lying to every cast member. that the others are in.
Or in, right? Yeah.
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 And
Because
so,
I'm hearing Betty White,
Yeah.
Jane Leaves, who's an old friend of mine, but I hadn't talked to her yet,
Right.
Yeah.
and Wendy Malick, who I didn't know but I know of, and she's I mean, you can like everywhere Wendy is. She's a brilliant actress and can do anything.
Yeah.
But I have to say, and I don't say,
Get your pants over here.
But when Keith called me whenever they did, or Larry, and said Valerie Bertinelli, I was like, okay, like,
Now get me out of here and put Wendy here and see what he says.
No. I mean,
Now, do you know what there was an original cast that we had on the board, and I don't even know if you know this.
Kirstie?
No, it was. We talked about.
I think
Kirstie.
we did too.
We talked about Kirstie, and I think some people were dubious,
skeptical.
But it was
God rest her
it was
soul.
Doris Roberts,
Oh yes, right.
Vivica Fox,
Oh,
Kathy Griffin,
whoa!
and Faith Ford.
Different
That
show.
was a
Faith.
group.
Different show.
Very different show.
I love
We had all
Faith.
these combinations on a board.
That's
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah, but we always said that you four were the dream. That was the dream board. That was the vision board. And then we thought, well, these guys are, close to the vision board when Valerie says no.
Right.
When Betty says no.
Yeah, I have to say my expectations were not low, but they were managed. Like I didn't.
You sound like my father.
No. I just remember like when Keith came and said this, this is what we have. I was like,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, wow, like that's.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming necessarily.
Yeah.
It was TV Land,
Yeah.
and so it was a hard. I think it was probably a hard sell. I mean, what did you think when somebody said, "Hey, do you want to do a show on TV Land?"
Oh, I was like, I love this.
Oh, really?
This is hysterical, but TV Land,
But yeah,
where
exactly.
is it?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where
Exactly.
it is. So if you're a VIP or a VP preferred, you will get special access to a phone number. And you can call in and we'll hear your voice and you can ask your question and we will answer it.
And we'll play it
And we'll play it
live on the show.
on the vodcast.
On the vodcast. So you, Doug, you've been part of television for. Now we're learning. The
Yeah, I
first
go back to
set
the-
you were on was
I go-
one day at a time.
I go back to the Dumont Network.
Yeah,
So
wow.
that's how old
Were
I
you
am.
reading live commercials? We did live episodes of Hot in Cleveland with
We did a
live
couple.
commercials.
Yes, we did.
I forgot that. Is that true?
Yeah, we did
Yes.
2 live episodes.
I can't believe this. Emmett and I finally get married, and now he's escaped from prison wearing my clothes.
Victoria's husband is a world-class actor, and as such, a master of disguise.
We got this, Trebek.
By the way, I had to.
That was fun.
I had to
That
go
was fun.
back and I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I had to go back and refresh some
Yeah.
things.
Welcome to your
I
60s.
First, I couldn't believe how many cool things you did on the show. How many? I mean, I remember a lot of great special guests.
Yeah.
But I did not remember how many and how great. Like dozens.
Yeah.
It
It's
was like it was
insane.
crazy.
Yeah. We had such incredible guest stars, like you were saying. I mean, what was the
Unbelievable.
first birthdays episode? Where you're sitting there watching Carl Reiner with Betty White do a scene. You're like your 3rd episode of your show.
no,
And
it
what do
was-
you? I'm going to give notes to Carl Reiner. Hang on.
Yeah.
Listen, Alka, I don't want to lose you. So if you're still up for it, I'm willing to try going downtown.
You are?
Yes. Just hope I won't get lost down there.
Yeah, I remember
He was so lovely.
The loveliest.
Oh my God, I love
the
him.
loveliest. And he would tell. Oh, he
Told
told
one of my
stories.
told one of
He
my.
told great stories.
We had him on a Comedy Central roast once for Joan Rivers, and he.
I
they're-
remember
my
that.
goodness.
They're
Yes.
friends, and
Yeah.
he was like, "I can't roast her. Like, I'm not doing this."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but so he gets up. He goes, and he just told jokes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one of the jokes he told was, he says he's directing Oh God with
George Burns.
George Burns.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting in the trailer, and George is like 90 something.
Sure.
And he says, "So George," he says, "It's sex at your age? What's sex like?" He goes, "Oh yeah, sure." He goes, "It's like putting a jellyfish into a coin slot."
Oh my! The visual.
And it keeps coming.
Yes.
Carl Reiner, everybody.
Oh,
Carl Reiner.
my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
He
This
wasn't
is the
quite
thing
as
about
dirty.
Carl and Betty, that you had no idea how dirty they could get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when people ask me, what's the dirtiest joke Betty ever told you? I'm like, I don't know.
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, her double entendres were out of this world.
And she never had a problem with anything, any joke. But the only thing she said she didn't want to do as much. The downtown.
The downtown
That was
she
a
didn't
question.
like.
She didn't like
Yeah.
that. Carl was afraid to go downtown.
Oh, I
which is why they
remember
broke
this.
up.
Yeah.
But
Too dark and scary
But the
down
only,
there.
yeah, I mean, I still hear me laughing in that episode. But the one thing that she didn't want to do, because we alluded to she was selling marijuana out of the back house.
Right.
You remember? She had a grow
That's
house.
right.
And she said, and we were like, remember when Jane said, "Is that why are the police out front?" Or I don't remember what the line was.
Something smells funny.
And she said, and she's like, "What? Are you a cop?"
Yeah, right.
It was
Yeah,
always that thing. And
No.
then eventually she's like, I'd rather explore these. She was the best.
I mean, she
because
was
wouldn't say,
she was
I'm not
unbelievable.
going to do something. She's just like, how about we explore something where I'm not Cheech?
Yeah.
We had actually had her on a couple of roasts, and I knew prior to Hot in Cleveland, and I knew like you could hand her a good script, and she just
Yeah.
nailed it. She got all the jokes, and
Yeah.
you had to deliver them.
And she even twisted them in a way that only Betty could.
Yeah. She was very good at.
Well,
Betty
you'd look
White.
at her. She'd sit in that chair in the kitchen. I don't know how recently you've watched a lot of it. You said you just watched some, and she'd sit there, and just the looks on her face, you just cut to her.
Yeah. Reactions.
It's the reaction shots.
Yeah.
You have.
And the audience would wait for it.
Oh yeah.
You could feel them
Yeah.
like, cut to Betty, cut
Yeah.
to Betty. I got to see how she's reacting.
When my first marriage fell apart, I had trouble choosing a lawyer. Because subconsciously, once I chose one, it would mean that I was really getting divorced.
And if I choose a doctor, it means I really have a brain tumor. And I do. So I will choose one.
Well, whoever you choose, I mean, we're going through this with you. So choose the handsome one.
Always in the scene. She was
That was
always
amazing.
always acting. And then if she did screw up a scene, she'd make fun of herself to the audience.
Oh, the best.
And include the audience. But Doug, we're not just here about that. So you started, you did all these networks. So tell us a little bit more about the beginning of Hot in Cleveland, when you got the ratings, when you knew the show was a hit.
Well, I
and
think we knew the show was a hit. Like it was one of those things that kind of hit pretty quickly, as I remember.
It hit very quickly.
We were on a plane when we heard the ratings, and we were all like, wow.
Here's what I remember sort of broadly. I thought we were going to end up with a, more of a B-team cast because we were TV Land. So this is what I want to ask you. So you read the script and you were like, "What's TV Land?" But
But
this
so
is good. This is good enough. I'm ready to do
It's
it.
just, and I was dying to do multicam.
Yeah. And by the way, the fact that Keith and Larry and you guys were able to get the cast you got. I mean, not only did it mean everything to the show, but it meant everything to TV Land. Because like, if Valerie Bertinelli and Wendy Malick and Jane and if they're all doing this, like, well, maybe I should be there too.
Yeah.
And what happened in the wake of the show? We did half a dozen more with incredible people.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal. So I was like, and then the other thing I really remember about before the show went on is there was like a Betty moment going on.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she had just done the Snickers Super Bowl
and
commercial.
SNL.
That sort of blew up in kind of a viral way in a world that wasn't quite viral yet.
Yeah.
And then there was the whole push to get her to host SNL.
Yeah.
And then
And the proposal. Remember the proposal?
Oh, the
Oh, the
proposal, right.
proposal was
So
out.
she was
Yes.
having
Wow.
like a moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we launched the show right in the middle of that moment.
Yes.
And,
And she was just a guest star.
right.
And how did you feel knowing when the ratings came in that we didn't have Betty White signed as a series regular?
Is that, so you have to remind me.
Yeah, so we did a deal. She would only do the deal for the pilot because she liked everybody that was in the pilot.
Right.
And she said, I don't want to be full-time on a sitcom again. I've done this in my life. I'll be in the pilot because I like the
But
script.
so I'm assuming you made a pilot. So this is good. We picked it up.
Oh yeah, we made it in
and she-
February. We were on the air in June.
Yeah,
Right,
but she was not tied to any more.
But she was tied to the show by the time we launched.
Oh yeah, but we knew that she had a little bit more
Leverage.
after the pilot taping went so well.
Yes.
And we said this is the 4. It's not 3. It's 4.
Right.
Shut over, Bones.
But I remember her saying this is the nicest place she'd ever worked.
Oh.
Yeah.
She said that in front of, and she's worked.
Yeah. It was
Yes.
I will say, I loved coming to the set.
Yeah.
It was a fun place
Yeah.
to be. Everybody was super great and chill. I fell in love with this guy.
Yeah, he's the best showrunner.
and
executive
you-
producer.
Well, thank you.
Suzanne's the best
Susan-
showrunner.
it was a great vibe on the set.
Yeah.
I used to love hanging out with the writers.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were all great. Suzanne's
You're
husband.
right about that. I
Yes.
used to go up to the writers like
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end when we finished taping, and they were all partying, having a good old time
Yeah,
up there.
you know, they were all, I think, you know, again, it was people who did this for a living. This kind of stuff had fallen out of fashion
Yep.
to a certain degree.
Yep.
And they were, I think, really happy to be back doing what they're, you know,
Yeah.
what they do best. I got to meet the great Rachel Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
who was,
my God.
who was
Who
another
was the
another
fan?
fascination of my,
Yep,
of my
yeah.
high school years. And I just like it was, you know, and then they were all, you know, you never know. It's Carl Reiner's going to be here, or Mary Tyler Moore is going to be there, or Don Rickles is going to be there.
Yeah,
And it was just
Tim
super fun.
Conway.
We came here because we're champions.
We were pretty good.
What are you talking about? We were the best there ever was.
A classic. Every Saturday night, all eyes were on us.
That's true. They even like this one.
Well, I had sex appeal. In fact, I still do.
I remember that these guys all got along so well and hung out after work and before work and so and which
Not a
made
diva
it.
defined.
And so was that the first time? Did you have other shows in your career where everybody kind of hung out? Like all the correspondence on the Daily Show.
Or was it where you
Love
had to
being
keep up certain people
Yeah.
apart because it might be too
Well, I
don't have to be-
definitely had those.
you don't have
But
to be
the
specific.
vibe on this show was really, you know, it was just like a nice, you know,
Yeah.
I love to go to Radford and
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
come to set and hang out and do nothing, but it was just like it was a nice group of people doing really good work who all seemed to really like each
Yeah.
other. I mean, I'm sure there was, you know, any show and any family.
mean,
there's some behind it.
We
Really?
had one or two guest stars
Yeah.
that were like, you don't fit in.
No,
Because you're mean.
And we
we don't
shouldn't-
like the way you treat the wardrobe, or you don't like the way you treat
Yeah.
catering, or whatever it may be. It's like, don't treat our people
not
like
coming
that.
back.
You're not coming
Yeah,
back.
we'll never. I don't want to say. anybody, 'cause
that's
No, I'm not gonna say anybody
no
either.
assholes allowed. kind
No,
of thing.
no
Yeah.
assholes allowed, because you know what? Betty's not an asshole.
Yeah.
Jane's not an asshole. Wendy's not an asshole. I'm sometimes not an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like no assholes here.
Yeah.
And by the way, success helps always, right? Like everybody's like, hey, we're winning here, and that's always fun.
Yeah, if somebody was
And-
misbehaving, we're like, well, you're not.
Yeah,
the
but it was
star.
it was a really great, you know. And the other thing, particularly that kind of show, which I did not have a ton of personal experience with, meaning a studio,
Yeah,
3-4 camera, you know, sitcom, you know, versus a single camera, which is I'd probably done more of that.
Yeah.
You know, when you're all on the set together,
Yeah.
It's a
well,
camaraderie.
it's a different, there's
Yeah.
like a different thing going on. And you look, you know, you guys done a lot more of this, and so you could feel that there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I don't know, it was a good time.
Come on, Melanie. Help me open a celebratory bottle of wine. We'll toast to Elka.
Hey, do we still have that great bottle of Bordeaux I bought?
Sorry, I finished it up for breakfast.
That was $1,000 bottle of wine.
It really brought out the subtle flavors of my ego.
I mean, it was an immediate hit. We were all so excited.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, for TV Land, it changed everything.
Yeah.
And we were kind of off the races thanks to Hot in Cleveland. But I would say the only downside was that was a very hard act to follow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was with all due respect to everybody who did a lot of great work for us.
They did. There's
That
a
was
lot of
the
good
that was
shows
that
on
yeah
TV
yeah
Land.
that was the biggest and the best.
Yeah,
And you know, and it was a
You're
fun
always
time.
chasing
Yeah.
that high.
Always
It
chasing
is, it is. I always felt badly because Cedric and I did the Soul Man together,
which was a spin-off, right?
a spin-off of Hot in Cleveland, and it just always felt like we were still the spin-off. At
Yeah.
Hot. You know, I was lucky enough to be part of both, so
Right.
I.
And then, yeah,
And it was a good show.
And it was a
Yeah,
good show with great
and
actors.
Fran's show was great.
Fran's show?
Fran's show was
and,
terrific.
You know, and Fran was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you know, like I don't think Fran Drescher comes to TV Land unless you guys
Right.
do it. You guys had to break down, you know, the doors. You know, I would say, you know, the thing I did learn over the course of my career working at what started as tiny cable networks and then emerged into something else is, if the show's good enough and you can kind of get lucky and get it in front, like it's not diminished by the platform it's on.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Actually,
You're
John
absolutely
John
right.
Stewart is the one who really taught
Who
me
proved that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, you know, people are like, why are you on Comedy
Yeah,
Central?
yeah.
Like, why aren't you? He goes like, you know, my show is my show. I think it's pretty good, and it's not at all diminished because I'm on on a cable network, you know, that follows me with, you know, talking puppets.
You know, there's something nice about being the first. and getting all the attention and being in a network that doesn't have a lot of other original programming. I mean, the focus was on us.
Or in our case, none.
And none. Yeah, so we were kind of lucky.
Yeah.
And I think it really, as long as you get eyes on something, you're right. A good show will.
I
prevail.
generally,
Well,
Yeah.
especially
It's just
now.
getting the eyes on it. Yeah, and now I don't even know how you get
You don't
eyes
even
on
know
anything these
what
days.
networks. You don't even know what the Billy Joel documentary.
I don't even watch. I can't even watch football because I don't know what channel it's on anymore.
That's the hardest part.
I
as a
did
sports
actually
fan.
did not watch any football last season because I
Couldn't
had
find it.
no idea where to go.
Yeah, so you watch the Bird Channel.
So I watched the Bird Channel with my cats.
Yeah,
You should-
but that's the TV land, and the star power thing was a big deal, right? To get attention.
What's
right?
on TV land
Like
now?
people wanted to
It's
talk
back to no
It's
original.
back to
programming.
By the way,
original?
all of these cable networks, all of them, pretty
Yeah.
much outside of like Bravo, which still does some original, handful. But like the MTVs, the Comedy Centrals, it's just all reruns. They don't spend
Yeah.
any money on making
reruns.
and the people, the subscribers, which in the days of Hot in Cleveland, TV Land probably had 90 million homes. They're probably at like 50 now.
Yeah.
So what do you see? Like, what's happening in this business? Nate?
Podcasts.
Yeah. Vodcast.
But everybody and their mother has a podcast. And I love it, but I love the information that I get from podcasts. I love
Yeah.
doing it. I love talking to people. But what do you, I mean, obviously Valerie's Place and having your own channel to air.
And talk to your fans in a first person kind of way, and they're I mean, that's a little bit how the world's gone. It's like it's fragmented.
Do you see it moving in that way?
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I think two things are happening. I think the streamers, like Amazon and Apple and Netflix.
Amazon I used to buy books from.
Well,
It's
exactly.
so crazy.
They are. So I see them. They're like big, giant department stores,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
They're trying to be all things, to all people. They have everything you want theoretically. It's kind of annoying to go there because, sitcoms on aisle 3 and sci-fi on aisle 4 and documentaries back there against the wall. And you kind of, they're not super serving you like the cable networks used to do. Like if you loved music or sports or science fiction or vintage television shows, you knew where to go to get them, and they delivered it to you. They matched your expectations. So I think the streamers are like big and broad, and kind of remind me of like the networks we grew up in, where they were trying to be all things, all people, right?
Well, but you also had like time zones, so you knew what you were getting in each time zone.
Yeah, but
you knew what you're getting in the morning, you knew what you're getting in the afternoon,
They were
you knew what you're
making
getting
it
at
for
night.
everybody. Like there was no MTV,
Yeah, you had a drama
there was no
against
Nickelodeon.
sitcoms, yeah.
Your show, One Day at a Time, was for the whole family, right?
Correct.
They were trying to reach the kids, the parents, right? Whereas cable came along and tried to reach different people with different things. So what you're doing, in Valerie universe, is you have a direct relationship with your fans now, and you are talking to them, and you are, I'm assuming, because you're doing great at it, meeting whatever expectations they have for you. Hopefully,
it's become like a
hopefully more
community.
people. Hopefully
Yeah.
more people come along.
Yeah.
But I think that stuff's gonna grow as I think people over time with the streamers. It's like I get it, like the stuff's like good, but it's like where's the stuff I really want to see? Where's the stuff for me?
Right. Well, I know that I've had to pare down on my streamers. Like I've canceled a lot of my streaming
Because you're probably
services
just not
because I'm
watching.
not watching them enough. I have a few that I watch, so I'll keep those.
Right. And if something great comes along, you can always turn it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
there's-
you can beat
and-
Bird
and-
TV.
And there's not enough great stuff, is what I would say.
No, there isn't.
Yeah. So
Well,
a lot
it's
of
spread
good
out.
stuff.
It's spread out, because you think, that must be on Apple. No, it's on Netflix or it's on HBO Max.
I mean, you can't even trust Food Network.
By the way,
anymore to
Hot in
give us
Cleveland, I think is a show that actually would get on the streamer today.
God, did you read that?
No.
Look at this. Do you think Hot in Cleveland?
I'll tell you why.
would get made
I'll
today?
tell you.
Please
I'll tell you
tell
why.
us why.
I'll tell you why.
And why aren't we doing a reboot?
It's half
Yes.
it's half the
Let's go.
reason that it went on TV Land.
Yeah.
Because the way I believe they pick shows, my sense is they check a bunch of boxes, and it's like, can we market this? Is there somebody in this that we heard of?
Yeah.
It's like they're less interested in like the idea and the execution of it and how they're going to sell it and get people to
Get
sample
the
it.
eyes.
So I mean, and you guys have been around television and you know this better than anybody. Like for a show to be a hit, right? It's a rare thing, and so many moons have to line up, right? So in the case of Hot in Cleveland, started with good idea, great script, had a really good script. Okay, we're not on the most popular cable network, but we're gonna get somebody to pay for this, so that's good. Right now, how do we cast it in a way that's actually gonna elevate it and get us some attention, right? So Betty, Valerie, Wendy, Jane, like those are like, we were like, well, People Magazine's going to want to talk to all of them, right? Like that's what we need.
Get them on the morning show.
So I think, and I say this with all due respect, it checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
And so in the world of streamers today, I think it like checks, like that's what they're looking for.
Yeah,
They're looking for, well, by the way, they're looking for titles they're looking for stars you love and are familiar with, and formats that aren't going to challenge you. And with all due respect, Hot in Cleveland is a really good traditional sitcom.
Yeah.
Which is what that audience wanted.
Yeah.
Right? And kind of a lost art.
Yeah.
So
Key, it is a lost art.
lost art. I would say, I actually was trying to do the math. I think Hot in Cleveland is probably the last great studio sitcom. Right? Because it came, like, Charlie Sheen had already gone on, like he was doing, all the Chuck Lorre stuff was happening.
Right.
Like those were kind of big hits on
Big
CBS.
hits.
Huge.
But nobody else was really doing them.
Nope.
And I don't know, I know people have tried since then, but I don't
know,
think anybody's
what's
been
come
as successful.
after Hot in Cleveland?
There have been things, but nothing that hit like Hot in Cleveland hit.
Well, there's been single camera, but not
Well,
I
exactly,
can't
single
think
camera,
of multicam.
Yeah.
The networks have done a couple, and they're like,
Yeah.
they're not Hot in Cleveland. They're not even close.
Yeah, I don't know when Mom came out, but that felt might have debuted while we were on, so that kind of counts.
was a
Same
good
thing,
show.
Chuck Lorre, and
Yeah.
and now Leanne is on Netflix, and that seems to be
and that's doing really
Leanne,
well.
Oh, right.
and
that's
so
right. I know who does.
Leanne Morgan, right? Leanne
Brilliant comedian.
Yeah.
Brilliant comedian.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so
she's
why?
lovely.
But see the thing now, because when we used to put shows on, we used to think, who are you going to pair this up with? Like, what show is going to pair up with this? Like, what is
We
one?
had another old sitcom.
Right.
Yes,
But,
who's the legacy
but
star?
in the olden days, or in any days when network had you had to fill two
The next
half-hour
slot, yeah.
slots.
Well, I was gonna say,
in-
if you do one, generally,
you don't fix something, you don't put something in next to Leanne anymore because that people go to see Leanne.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons I don't think networks, like the broadcast networks, not the streamers who aren't doing comedy either, but one of the reasons that I think the broadcast networks aren't doing any comedy, because the truth is, if you have one, you need two.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Half
right.
hours, right? And then, by the way, that was the other opportunity for us. It's like, oh, Hot in Cleveland's working. It's like, well, we could throw a rerun on afterwards and not cost it, but we're like, we have an opportunity here.
Yeah.
Right, launch
To give
something
the
else.
audience, put something behind it, and that's how we.
I think that was retired. Wasn't that Retired at 35? Was that the first one that you put on with us?
I think that was the second one, the George Siegel show. Yeah. Right.
Because we did a lot of press photos with them. I thought that.
Yeah, I think
first year.
I think you're actually right.
Yeah,
And then Fran was a little later.
Yeah.
Cedric was a little later.
Yeah,
Then we got some others, right?
The X's.
The X's. Well, that was Fran's, right?
The Franz was divorced.
Oh, happily divorced.
Happily divorced.
What was the X's?
That was Kristen Johnson.
Oh, that was
from,
yeah, that was near.
and Wayne Knight.
That's right, Wayne Knight.
Wayne.
Wayne Knight was
Yes,
also he
Wayne.
was hot in Cleveland.
Yes, he
I
was.
Right?
love
I just watched that
Wayne.
episode again where you go looking at his balls. I don't know if you remember that.
But he was like a.
I broke into his house.
Has something catch your interest?
I was admiring your balls.
Really? That's refreshing. Most women aren't interested in my balls. Go ahead. Touch them.
Wow. Smooth.
They're shellacked.
Hi, welcome to Valerie's Place. Come on in. I like to think that while this is my house, Valerie's Place is our home. It's a destination hub. We can share lifestyle, cooking, fashion. What I really want to do is share stories. I want to build this place together with all of you. You can sign up today, go to valeriesplace.com, find out which tier you want. They start at $2. The first week is free, and then come on in.
The last question is, I was told, and we can have more questions. This is just mine.
Sure.
Because we were on Hot in Cleveland, we were on Paramount Plus, and we were on how it's still it's still current. It still feels current. It still feels like a great show. And you just watch.
I just watched one.
So I was told that Hot does well on Paramount Plus because we have some friends that work there. Why do you think it's still relevant? Why do you think people still search it out on Paramount Plus?
Well, it's kind of timeless. It's not of, it doesn't, even though you made it, what is it now?
It was 2010 that we made the pilot.
So 15, 16 years ago. I mean, there's a timeless quality to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, and the themes are timeless, and the relationships are timeless, and I think the humor is timeless.
Yeah.
There's some, every once in a while I watch a couple, there's a joke that's of its time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
but that's not how the show was built.
No.
And it's just, like every great sitcom is.
Yeah.
It's timeless. It's the reason you can still watch I Love Lucy and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I can. You
Yeah.
can watch
Same.
I Love Lucy and enjoy it, or you
Yeah.
can watch the old Norman Lear shows
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
enjoy it. You know, that's what the best ones are.
Yeah.
And so, and it's a nice, it's a warm one, and I think in this. You know, I don't know about you, but like, you know, I don't do a lot of dark stuff this day. Like, there's enough darkness out there that
Yeah.
I'm looking for like a little.
Yes.
You know, I love Wendy's. You know, Shrinking is like
Yeah.
a warm bath. To me,
Yeah,
and
it is.
funny and sweet, and it's about community, and that's I think that's Hot in Cleveland was a community.
Yeah.
Of
Yep.
women who loved and adored each other and were true friends.
The school asked if I would stay on as the drama advisor, and I said yes.
Are you serious? That's wonderful. I think that might actually be quite fantastic.
What about your career?
Oh, if I get offered a part, I am on the next plane out of here. No, in acting we call that Michael Caine's Law.
It's a great, timeless, funny show with really great actresses and great execution, and yeah, like it's always going to be funny. So,
Well, I miss those days.
Yeah, me too. They're fun, right?
Yeah.
And we're so glad to see you, and so glad that you could kick this off, and you're welcome back anytime.
Yep.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Doug Herzog,
All right.
nicest guy in the business.